Okay.
Look, I'm just here to talk.
Do-do-do-do-do,
Holy
welcome
shit,
to
we
the
really need an intro
podcast.
as opposed to that.
Talking about that was a great intro.
All right. Welcome to episode 1 of the Inpending Podcast. I'd like to start off by saying that I will retroactively declare episode 0 as the pilot episode, but we'll still keep the numbering as this one being episode 1.
Episode 0 is fine. I mean, in programming, we start counting off at 0.
That is actually exactly what I was thinking too.
Because a lot of times it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 9, and that would be 10 digit. But yeah, you just start off from 0. 0 actually sounds a lot cooler because you're starting from nothing.
which
Started
we
from
kind
the
of
bottom, and now we're here.
So some corrections I wanted to make before we dove into our topics. On the last episode, I mentioned what's his name, like Dean Takeshi or whatever, that reviewer of Cuphead who like failed. Honestly, I just kind of knew about him. I didn't really look into what he did, but it turns out like I said that he failed like forever on the tutorial, which he did, but I referenced 26 minutes, which was his famous 26-minute video of not passing the first level, not the tutorial.
That's still pretty bad, though.
That's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
And also like that he did spin his like failure in his review as like he kind of acknowledged it, but still like the reason why I got so riled up over that is just because like I do aspire to be a games journalist, and like seeing that, you know, in like industry heads of that occupation are like idiots really pisses me off. So yeah, I still think like I like even now I really didn't look into what he did and stuff like that. What the full story behind that is. I still think he's an idiot, but less so now. No, actually not less so. No, I still think he's stupid.
No, yeah, it's good to hold people up to high standards. Because it's sort of what you're looking for. This is someone in the professional field that I'm about to go into, and you kind of almost have an expectation on it. So
Yeah.
it's good to keep that expectation up before you actually go into the industry and inevitably have all your expectations horribly crushed because you realize nobody knows what they're doing.
Yep, exactly.
Before we go on, I want to give a shout out to our new subscriber. I'm not going to say his name, but I know who you are.
All right.
That's it.
A good friend of ours.
Who will most likely be a guest in a coming podcast. So speaking of Cuphead, that game
said anything about Cuphead?
has really been blowing up, especially in like streams lately. Everyone, it's like the cool thing to play. And like one of like the I guess like trends that is going around is like rage compilations of streamers like failing at Cuphead.
Is it even that hard of a game?
I like see that's the thing. It's like I don't think it's actually that hard.
I mean, unless you're trying to go for like perfect, like
exactly.
100%, maybe it's hard, but I don't think the streamers are going for that.
Yeah, like the streamers are just like playing it. Like no one really, unless you're like a, what's it called, like a specified streamer, like you specifically stream one single game. Usually you play like, you don't try to do completionist tasks on games that you play,
Gotta get on the hype train and hop off when it gets to station.
Yeah, exactly. So I mentioned this because I've been doing the completionist run for Cuphead. I've been trying to get all the achievements, and I've been trying to like get like scores of A or higher on all the bosses and beating everyone on expert. I'm currently I need 3 more bosses left on expert, and it's been tough, but like after doing all this like expert grinding, the regular difficulty is almost like therapeutic. It's actually like pretty easy just because I'm so practiced at it. So like when I see like these fail compilations of them like really getting pissed off at the game, I'm just thinking like it's a little much.
They could be faking it, right? Like no one can be that bad.
Uh,
What
Well,
what would draw people to their channel, right? Like overreactions. Like a lot of horror channels, like PewDiePie in his beginning, like he had over the top reactions, right? That's what drew so many people to him.
I
Maybe
think his more his thing is more that he was international and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean, you know. Like you like in the end, all like content creators are performers, you know.
right.
Like to a certain extent, this podcast is a performance, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like enunciate my words more, you know, so for clarity and stuff like that.
Speaking of a performance, hearing the last podcast, realized, dude, I hate my voice. Like, you know how everyone has they say, when you hear your voice in a recording, it always sounds weird.
Yes.
Like, mine sounds horrible. It's just, oh, my
how would
voice
you
is a
describe your
lot
own
higher
voice?
than I originally.
My voice is a lot lower, I thought.
I think mine is higher also, but I honestly like everyone really kind of says that their voice is weirder on recordings, but it's always their self who cares the most, you know.
Yeah, no one else gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're the most critical of yourself and stuff like that. You're always like, dude, my voice sounds so awful, and everyone else is like, it just sounds like your voice. And I'm like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Do I sound like this normally? Are you kidding me?
That's
What
true.
a nightmare.
If my
Yeah.
voice is ugly, you guys would tell me, right?
It's hideous.
No, Daniel, your voice is
Really hard
beautiful.
to look at.
Thanks.
That's why we have you as a reoccurring guest. That and
Therapeutic.
your insightful insight on everything.
Oh, this is almost like, have you guys ever went grocery shopping and then you pay by cash or something? And they always hand you the receipt and a bunch of coins and you're trying to stuff it into your wallet. And at that moment, you feel everyone is just judging you, but honestly, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes I might care. Maybe it's not the cash, but like if someone's like holding up the fucking line, like let's say I'm at Chipotle and some asshole's just up there holding up the whole line on a busy day. Yeah, I might care a little.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? The dude just handed me cash. It's like, I have
Just
to
look
put
at
this
him
in my wallet.
disapprovingly.
you okay. You don't have to put it in your wallet. You have your Chipotle. You can like leave the line, find
But I
a
know what you mean.
table,
Usually I just
sit down.
so they hand me like a receipt and some cash and some change. Usually I just stuff it all in my pocket and I walk down, sit, and then I organize everything. In my
Yeah,
wallet.
same.
Yeah, that's how I handle it.
Oh my god. My worst fears are coming true. They are actually judging me.
No, but there's actually like what's it psychological study, some theory about that, where it's like you feel like you're the center of attention when really no one actually notices a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Life gets a lot easier when you realize how little other people care about your actions. Unless you're the boss and everyone else is trying to, you're in a meeting.
If you're the boss, who gives a shit? Even you should give less of a shit.
But
Someone
your
speaks
words
out of
have
line.
heavy weight, right? If your boss suddenly goes in and is joking around all the time, you know,
Well, then,
he loses credibility.
well, he can always gain it back by randomly purging people. Like, you're the boss. Anything you say goes. It doesn't matter what people think.
I don't think you know what a. You're a pretty bad boss if that's the case.
I mean, were we saying a good boss or a bad boss? I thought we were just saying a boss.
Uh,
What did you want to talk about, David?
oh, me?
Yeah.
Mainly this week, I want to complain about the frickin' fires that going on all throughout California.
Oh,
National
it been-
disaster.
Yeah.
No, it's like a state of emergency right now.
Oh, dang. I mean, I've been noticing the fires where I'm living too. It's actually not affecting me as much, but you know, it's coloring the skies and whatnot.
It's
So
ruining
it is
my
noticeable.
view. And I smell some ash. It's kind of bad for my lungs.
Dude, it was pretty bad. Like, my day job, it's near the Angel Stadium, right? And that's right where, if you don't know, there's two big fires that went on this week. Hopefully you could date the video so this makes sense. But Northern California had a big fire that burned about like 50,000 acres. Then actually 40 people died in
From
that
the fire?
From
Wait.
the fire.
So it wasn't like some like fire in the middle of wilderness. Was it like residential fire, or was it actually like some forest fire that brought in smoke that killed people or
Dude,
something?
it was okay. Another thing I want to talk about is like it's interesting how these people sort of perished. Not saying this in a light way. You want to take it really seriously, but want to hear how they died. It's like people don't actually. You see a guy on fire, and that's how they die.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Most of them die from carbon dioxide,
Mm-hmm.
and that would cause you to lose consciousness. Whereas you can't actually escape from the fire. At that point, you would actually perish from it. But when you hear about deaths caused by fire, that's really not like a large percentage of that is either they didn't get out in time or they had too much faith in themselves, where the air got so polluted that they suddenly lost consciousness. And once you lose consciousness in a fire, you're done, right?
Yeah.
From a lack of oxygen, you know about altitude poisoning. You actually lose functionality of your body very quickly. There was a video on Science Every Day. Hopefully, you can put down the link. It's really interesting. So, what in that video, what it showed was that he was in a chamber and it simulated higher altitude. So they took oxygen, like a less saturated atmosphere, right? And when they crank down the oxygen concentration to a certain point, you can't move your arms. You're still conscious. Like your brain literally loses functionality to move your limbs if you don't have enough oxygen. And the dangerous part is that there's no receptors that really tells you you're losing oxygen, or your body's not intaking enough.
We're getting pretty deep.
Right?
I'm not sure how to respond.
It's just like this will tie in to how the people died, because I was reading through some New York Times article, and it's interesting how people sort of fall victims to fire cycles. There was only a couple, like very few cases where they were actually sleeping in their homes and then the fire spread to them without them waking up. A lot of it was people thinking they have to protect their house. They decide to stay when the evacuation is in order.
Hey, kind of speaking of which, you remember like 5 years ago there was a giant ass fire?
You mean in where we lived?
Yeah, where we live. Like, did the fire department come and tell you to get out?
No, I wasn't actually. My house wasn't actually.
Because
But-
Mine wasn't either. But I
Because
know like we missed school. Like I missed school one day because of it.
it was pretty crazy. Like, it was like in the morning or something. Also, like why the hell is there a fire department, like fire truck outside? And tells like, yeah, all of you have to go. So like my whole family just got up and left.
Oh, you were actually evacuated?
Yeah, I mean not evacuate. They just said you can't be here. Like you didn't tell us to go anywhere. Just like so we just went to like a nearby hotel and just chilled for like yeah.
Oh, did you guys pay for the hotel? Or
Yes.
did they?
What
No,
the fuck?
some houses, some hotels have to open up for disaster.
No, we had to pay money. U.S.
So it
dollars.
wasn't that serious. This one,
I mean,
like, it destroyed 5,700 structures. It was actually like, the however many acres said before, like 1,000 acres. That's just one part. What this fire was, it's like, one section started burning, and because there was high winds, it carried off and started multiple different fires. I think there was 6. One of them was kind of small, but there was 6 total regions that was on fire, and at a certain point, firefighters stopped containment at all, and they just started evacuating. That's how bad it was.
so what would you rather have? Hurricanes, typhoons, earthquakes, fire, or what would you rather be? Like, have your community
man.
destroyed by?
I guess the most life-threatening would be an earthquake, because
Most life-threatening earthquake?
yeah,
I guess it depends on how big, but I thought fire would be the most threatening. I mean, you'll die either way, but
with an earthquake, if it's because earthquake is sudden impact, whereas a fire, even though it spreads fast, as long as you take the correct precautions, get out of the dangerous area. I feel like you should, along with hurricane.
Yeah, okay. I kind of agree with David on the point about the fires and hurricane and whatnot, where it's like like earthquake is just like out of nowhere and it causes a lot of destruction.
mhm.
But I think the one I would prefer the least, I guess. I don't know. I forgot the question. What was it? Like
Just all the natural disasters, I
Yeah.
suppose.
anyways, the one I would be most like afraid of, I guess, would be like a tornado. Just because like we're in California, we're kind of not prepared for tornadoes just because they don't exist here because there's a lot of mountain ranges. But if some freak tornado were to come through and like ravage like part of our state and stuff like that, yeah, that'd be crazy. I would not know what to do. See, like for earthquake, because we live on a fault line, we've kind of been taught in school like how to deal with earthquakes and stuff like that.
But
So
realistically speaking, isn't like a hurricane worse than a tornado?
In terms of damage, or
Yeah, damage and like it's basically just a bigger tornado, right?
I think like the requirements to be a hurricane are like lighter than a tornado or something like that. I don't know. I don't know enough about natural disasters, but I figured like a hurricane's not gonna like pick your house up and throw it like a couple of miles away. You
But
know,
it
I
might
feel
just
like a
blow
hurricane's
it
just
straight
gonna
away.
like yeah, like knock it down or um like get it really wet and stuff like that. Flood your house and stuff like that. Um but like a tornado, I picture like picking stuff up and tossing it. And that's scary to me.
I mean, your house is gone either way. One is just you're wet to top it off.
Yeah.
well, um, a tornado that picks up water is actually called a water spout. Whereas a hurricane, there's no there's no touchdown.
There's no actual spinning thing.
Well, there is a definitely a spinning thing,
But it
but
doesn't matter, the wind's blowing so hard. Like,
well, that's a naive way to of thinking it. But like scientifically, it depends on when the vortex actually touches it. When it reaches touchdown, I think that's when it becomes a tornado or house route. Whereas if you just have large sporadic weather reactions, whereas it picks up a lot of rain and just dumps water, like how it happened in Texas, that would be considered a hurricane. Whereas
Actually,
majority of the damage is done by water.
I think the worst one is actually a meteor shower.
Black hole in our galaxy, maybe, or just in our solar system.
Solar flare, supernova. Yeah, those are pretty bad, I think.
Planetary implosion.
Um the super volcano under Yellowstone erupting. Someone's gonna say Cthulhu's real name and the universe ends.
What's
Right.
Cthulhu? Isn't Cthulhu's real name Cthulhu?
Nah, it's unknown.
Oh, you almost said it there. You almost ended the universe.
I don't know
Trick
it. I can't
question.
say it.
Dude, I'm actually what I'd be most scared of would just be just drowning, right? But I can't picture myself actually dying to a hurricane.
What the fuck? Are you like? Do you not need air to breathe? What do you mean you can't picture yourself?
I mean, I would think by that time I could get to higher grounds or like properly evacuated.
It's possibly, but a lot of people there didn't have the means. Like, where are they gonna go? They don't have the money to go anywhere.
hmm
Like,
I also live like really high up, like on a hill, and so like if there was like a flood or something, I'm usually like the last area to like be like, hey, flood warning, you need to leave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
doesn't like Japan have it the worst? They live on a fault and they get like smashed by hurricanes on the regular.
Yeah, because they're an island, and
It sucks to be them.
I think it's like they're an island that's on the Ring of Fire, which
Yeah.
means that they're on a fault line, like on a tectonic plate. So like there's underwater earthquakes that cause a lot of tsunamis. I think that's what it is. Tsunami would suck, dude. Oh my goodness. I was like thinking about it, like you know how when you go to the beach and you're like you play in the waves and you're like just swim over the wave or like swim under the wave, you'll be fine or something. I'm like,
See a
can you
tsunami
do that with a
coming?
tsunami?
Okay, if you're on the beach, if you're in the water and a tsunami comes, what do? Do you just go deeper into water or do you just run?
A
Yeah.
tsunami?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too, because like no matter
Alright,
what,
if
I'm
you're in the
not gonna
water,
yeah.
alright, if you're in the water, what do you do? Like, you know how usually we're just like dicking around the waves?
Yeah.
Alright, and I see an ass wave coming. What will you do? Do you just like go deeper in the water and hopefully like
Have
no
it pass
I-
over you.
yeah. Now that I think about it, I'd probably run.
No, see, like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like no matter what, like, will never be able to outrun it. Okay, for
Yeah.
sure, I will not be able to
I don't
outrun
know,
that thing.
but we might not. But I will have run so fast in my life. I don't think in that moment, I'm pretty sure I will be an Olympic sprinter.
but
Oh
but like,
my god.
see, that was like always like my thing. It was like if I saw a tsunami, would I run toward it or run away from it? Because like maybe
I would
maybe
just
I could
start praying and
I could
accepting my
swim through
death.
it, you know?
If
Because
you go
there's no
deep
way
enough,
in hell I'm outrunning that
if you
thing.
go deep enough, surely it won't affect you.
Right, exactly. I
What
mean,
are
you're
you- how are
already
you
in
gonna
the
get
water,
air?
right?
If you go up for air, it's just gonna bring you to the current. There's a undercurrent where it drags you down, keeps you underwater.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you know. Okay, do you know about the aerodynamics of trucks? How they have a giant open, like they're basically all their back trunks is exposed, but still rather aerodynamic. You know how that works?
You're talking about trunks?
The trucks,
Like
like
flatbed?
pickup
No,
trucks.
wait. Oh, pickup trucks?
Yeah.
Like flatbed trucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for those, the back of the car, the trunk portion, right, it
Mhm.
actually creates a circular formation of wind, whereas oncoming wind, it would sort of serve as a wheel and push the wind forward, and it doesn't get sucked up immediately. And in the same way that works with water, that when you have large amounts of water, the water underneath the surface is actually turning like a barrel, much like a washing machine. and that will actually keep you submerged until you
I see.
drown. That's why a lot of people they think, oh, it's okay, I could just swim through it, and then suddenly they get dragged underwater and then they're dead. It
Yeah.
works at the same concept. Whereas if you're on top, the water could be smooth because on the underneath the top layer, it's actually barrels of rolling water that keeps a lot of stuff submerged.
You know, on the beach, there's a lot of bikes and shit. Do you think you can outbike it? There's also like the lifeguards with their like the motorized vehicles.
See, what I'm mostly afraid of being a Californian on these disasters is the traffic.
Yeah, dude.
Because
Oh my gosh, people are literally the biggest hazard in a natural disaster.
Exactly. Like if it rains here, there's gonna be giant, like there's gonna be pileups. People don't know how to drive. Now imagine a disaster, dude. You're not gonna be able to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, how wide do you think tsunamis are?
You mean
You know
how
what I'm saying?
wide?
Like how the wave
Yeah,
length.
no, I get the question. I honestly like miles probably, right?
No
I
idea.
don't get the question. What do you mean?
Okay, so
The wave length. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, how
You know what?
wide?
in any like three-dimensional shape,
X-axis.
there's like X, Y, Z. You know
Yeah. Okay.
how tall it
Do I
is,
really draw
how
it for
deep it is, and how wide it is, and stuff like that. He's asking how wide. Like,
Dude, that is just such an absurd question. I guess it didn't register. Okay, first of all, right? It depends on the tsunami. It's like, what is it caused by? Is it a freaking meteor that hits it? Is it an earthquake? If it's an earthquake, it sorts of branches out as a radius. And if you're talking about how wide, meaning at which point does the height of the tsunami become non-lethal? Because if there's a tsunami, that whole coast be flooded, except areas of that coast would be hit by larger waves and higher submersion than other.
See, you know the movie Prometheus where they're running from the UFO? We have to. Everyone else is gonna be running like away from the water, and people probably get trampled in it. We have to run along the edge, like run sideways. That's the key.
no, I totally get that. When you asked how wide a tsunami was, that is exactly. I knew that was gonna be the follow. But if you think about it,
Oh my god.
isn't like a tsunami a ripple, right? So like if you look at a ripple, right, it like grows bigger.
Yeah.
So if you run like along the side of it, it's like still growing, like
I mean,
sideways too, right? Isn't it?
I guess that's assuming like you're at the smack dab center of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Okay, how tsunamis work is that first of all, the water level rises, and then
I just kind of imagine tsunamis as a big ass wave.
No, that actually does not exist.
Just a big ass wave.
It starts off as like little waves and it builds up to big ass waves. There's no, unless it's an immediate impact from, let's say, like a meteor, right, which hasn't happened as far as I'm aware in this century. That kind of impact would cause one giant shockwave, and then a giant wave of water would actually come.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at pictures of tsunamis. They kind of look like just one big wave.
If you could think of Pacific Rim when they detonated that nuke, how it pushed all the water out, that's what scenario it would be to cause one giant wave. But most likely it would be first the waves started getting bigger and bigger, throwing water over the edge into the beaches and the surrounding communities, and then the waves would just continue to grow larger and larger. Right? So you would see a semi-big wave, and then another wave bigger than that, and then another wave bigger than that, and then the water level just continue to rise. That's essentially what tsunami would happen.
So, that's being said, if you had a scuba suit, would you survive? Like, as long as you don't, crack your skull from the force of the tsunami, you wouldn't drown, right?
I mean, how long does your oxygen take?
I don't know, but let's say like even like 20 or half an hour. There should be a chance. Like at that point, look for like scuba people. I don't know how much time it takes for a tsunami to reach the surface. I mean, the shore. Do you know? Average tsunami speed.
Average tsunami speed. To look that up, actually.
Well, this has been the disaster portion of our podcast.
Oh, what's it called? Tsunamis approaching shore. Height can be 100 feet or more, and width can be 5,000 to 10,000 feet. And speeds vary up to 30 miles to 200 miles per hour.
Oh shit! Yeah, see, I can't run. I can't run 30 miles an hour, let alone 200 miles an hour.
All right, let's say it's
both ran 30 miles an hour.
What's 5,000 feet? We're going like the bare minimum. 5,000 feet to miles.
5,000 feet is less than a mile. It's almost a mile.
It's 0.9. All right, and I guess it's how far away it is from the shore.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's traveling like 30 miles an hour, like the most smallest tsunami, then maybe, like if you could run a mile in that certain amount, you might survive.
Run a mile at 30 miles an hour? I don't think anyone could do that.
That depends how far the tsunami is away from the shore, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's a lot of variables. Either way, let's just knock on wood that this never happens.
The worst thing that's ever happened is just I probably
Not the fire.
It didn't affect me, like my house. I know it caused large amounts of traffic where my commute tripled in time.
Oh, that's awful.
Exactly. That's why I kind of wanted to rant about it.
My day was ruined.
Hey, the Anaheim fire only burned like 6 houses, so.
Oh yeah, that like the fire from like way back when, that was like a real big deal. Not way back when. What am I talking about? A couple years ago. That was a real big deal. I'm starting to get like pieces of it back, because what was I? I was in like middle school or something when that happened. Everyone was like, that was like the news of the town. Like people were like crying and stuff because like their friends' houses burned down. Dude, that was some crazy stuff. What I was concerned with was like, shoot, I missed school. Like, what schedule are we on now? I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty messed up. Anyways, natural disasters, pretty crazy. But okay, so one point about that whole like the whole like measurements of the tsunami that Daniel brought up. You know how it was like 5,000 feet across and like 100 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
I always found it interesting that like up and like across, like the scales are like so different. Basically, when you say, "Oh man, I was like 100 feet up in the air," that's like some crazy like high amount. But it's like I walked 100 feet across. That's like a rock's throw away. You know, like space is like a mile upward. You know, but but like in and out is like more than a mile away from my house. So yeah, I always thought that was pretty interesting, thinking it in that perspective.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was kind of just a tangent, but yeah.
I was wondering, hey, how high do you think Mount Everest is?
You Google it.
Right, just from guessing.
Like a mile high.
1 mile? What's your guess, Dan?
I have no idea.
What Caleb said is right. It's like going up and down, going a couple miles, it's a huge deal, right? Whereas if you're going vertically, I could run 4 miles.
I think that's horizontal.
Yeah. But dude, Mount Everest is only 5.5 miles high. I mean, only, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you laid Mount Everest on its side, I can like fit it along like the path from my house to A&J restaurant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To listeners, they have no idea how far.
I honestly,
It's
I
5.5
don't even know how
miles.
far that is.
That's 5.5 miles. That's
I'm
how
just
far
like
that
guessing,
is.
honestly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was like a good disaster topic. I kind of wanted to talk about yeah. Okay, never mind. Continue, Caleb.
No, I'm done. That was it.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. You have something else? Go for it.
No, I think that's it.
I just remembered from at near the conclusion of our last podcast, I mentioned boneless pizza, and we said that would be like the teaser for the next episode.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear about boneless pizza?
Isn't that just regular pizza?
So basically,
Oh.
I have this habit, or I don't know if it's a habit, but like I'm into like those spicy dank memes on the internet because I think
It's not
it's
a
like
habit, it's an addiction.
it's like the
It's a religion, really.
it really showcases like the intellectual achievements of mankind. And so, but I'm pretty usually out of the loop, I don't like really follow like really trending stuff all the time. So once in a while I get like I just take some time and like look up like what are different things that I've missed throughout, some periods of time. What trending things have come and gone that I may have missed, and then that usually leads down a rabbit hole of like more stuff that I've missed. And one of the things that I missed was boneless pizza meme, which basically it was basically this guy ordering pizza that was boneless. But anyways, that leads to a question. What what are some of your favorite dank
Memes.
memes? Yeah, I
You
know.
gotta
You know
say
I know, Daniel,
spicy memes.
that you're
No,
you're
you know when you
definitely.
said,
Huh?
like, what did you say? It was like man's greatest achievement.
Oh, I said like memes were a good showcase of like the intellectual achievements of mankind or something like that.
That just makes me think, like, back in like the 1950s, people were like, in 2017, we're gonna have flying cars. Instead, we got videos, like shitty internet videos about boneless pizza.
That's still a huge meme. Dude, I remember the one.
Boneless pizza. Because like pizzas don't have bones. That's like the joke behind it.
I know.
So
My favorite
like-
one is
yeah.
like, I bet there's flying cars in the future. And then it cuts to 2017, man drinks laxative and glues asshole shut. That's a picture of a guy screaming on the toilet. Dude, that is a great showcase of how our society has developed.
So I guess it kind of speaks volumes about, like, whenever current day, we're like, I wonder, even today when I was talking to you, David, and while we are eating, it's like, do you think we're gonna have like virtual reality where it's like the Matrix or like Inception where you hook up your brain into it and you go into this virtual world? But probably not. It's probably not gonna happen.
Or probably what? Yeah,
We'll
I
probably
guess
just
it
get,
would
like,
either happen or probably not.
we'll
Yeah,
probably
you're
get some useless shit like Like assholes and laxatives. Have your asshole glued shut.
Oh, okay. Since I feel like we should close off all sessions with a meme of the month, right?
Let's not.
No. I'm with Daniel on this one. Daniel is like, I know he lives the like dank meme life. Actually, he's kind of given it up for the gym rat life, you know? But still, he's to me, he's still a trusted source of that type of stuff.
If you want memes, you have to go find it. We can't provide it for people.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
What? You just
There's-
browse
there's-
9gag and there's just memes everywhere.
Yeah, because you browse 9gag, and you should probably kill yourself.
There's something like magical about discovering like a dank meme for yourself. It's something magical, like, you know, that moment when it's like, oh yeah, you stumble upon ear rape fireflies and you spend a whole afternoon listening to fireflies based boosted videos.
It's like finding a treasure trove, really.
Yeah,
It's like a diamond in the rough.
Mhm.
Okay, I get it. Well, at least since this is a year where Friday the 13th ended up in an October month, we should end with a spooky, scary skeletons. Can we at least agree on that?
I don't really give a shit what you do, but sounds kind of cringy. But I won't stop you if that's what you want.
Oh man,
Right.
I remember seeing like something about Friday the 13th being like in October, and I was like taking a dump or something, and I saw it, and I was like, oh shoot, that's today, and it was probably one of the most uneventful days I've ever lived through.
How was the dump?
I don't remember, dude. Like that's
Was
how
that
uneventful it was.
Okay. Well, I think that's good. Can we wrap it up?
Next week we're planning on so this week we've recorded remotely, so that would explain some of the audio quality. Next week we're planning on recording live together again, and we have planned a special guest for next week. It should be that. Look forward to that one. It should be quite interesting. I guess we can close here. So this has been episode 1 of the Inpending Podcast. See you next time, I guess.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood.